the big thing that happened this week for like the nerds was Hawkeye came out, episode 1 and episode 2, which was pretty awesome. It came out on Wednesday, so the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know. There's been a lot of people talking before. I don't know if you read any of the pre-release kind of stuff that they're like, oh, instant classic or this and that, and people, you always got people saying it's great, and then another group saying it's the worst thing ever, and then a lot of people in the middle. So,
how do you feel about it?
Yeah. So for me, I liked it. I liked it. It's not my favorite one so far. Not yet. It could be kind of a slow burn. Like the first few episodes of WandaVision we're setting up everything. And I feel this one might be doing the same. I know we talked a little bit before we went live, but it was more, the first 2 episodes was more Kate Bishop than Hawkeye. It was definitely her story. So I'm hoping going forward it's going to be more Hawkeye, and his balanced too. Issues. Yeah. But I mean, what about you, man?
They did a really good job of kind of humanizing Hawkeye. Let's put the spotlight on Hawkeye not having powers. I think that was really cool, kind of showing like everything he busts through glass, it hurts. When all those things are blowing up, he's going deaf because he can't hear anymore because of all the stuff that's happening. He's just a regular dude. Everyone talks about Hawkeye being just a regular guy, and that's the joke. He really is just a regular guy. He's Jason Bourne with an arrow, just a dude. And I think that was kind of cool. But I didn't really like the whole. I feel like Kate Bishop was getting very annoying already.
Yeah, especially towards the end of the second episode, I felt like, because I kind of watched them both and kind of just bled into one big episode for me.
Yep.
But yeah, she was a little much at times.
Yeah, I was like, and I understand she's like, young and everything, but it's like, come on, just don't do this right now. Not right now.
Yeah.
You just tell her something.
You wait until right now.
Dad.
Come here. Go ahead. Tell me.
Your iPad and your car.
Okay, I'll get it. Okay, go upstairs.
Yeah, that takes forever.
All right, I love you. Go.
Can I have a huggy?
Yes. I love you. Go upstairs, please.
Who doesn't love huggies?
Yeah.
Hi.
All right, get out of here. Go, baby. Hurry up.
She didn't even want to hug. She's like, it's my chance to be on camera.
Exactly. She was like, she snuck downstairs. Was like, I know Daddy's on the show. Let's do this. But as I was saying before, I was really interrupted. I feel like she was a little annoying. She was doing things that are just a little childish, which is fine, whatever. And I felt like, I don't know, we get into the actual episode breakdown, but some things were just walking into things that just didn't make any sense. How she was able to walk into these situations.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think one thing I read was like, oh, privileged white girl was able to do whatever she wanted to do. I was like,
yeah.
There you go. Which is kind of like true. I mean, but
what her mom said, she was like, rich people think they're invincible, and rich people and kids think they're invincible, and you're both.
Yeah.
You've always been both, so you think you're super invincible, and nothing knocked her back down. I just thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I did enjoy that part where they at least kind of mentioned that, like something like that, like, oh, you're a teenager, and every teenager-ish or younger, adult kind of thinks like, the world's never going to end. They're invincible. That's just kind of like, part of growing up. But then also rich people, could do whatever they want to do. So at least she kind of like pointed that out right in the beginning, like, hey, you're rich and you're a kid. You think like you own the world kind of thing, So
exactly.
I appreciated that kind of like down to earth realism to it all, for the brief second. And then they just like completely dismissed that she destroyed a bell tower.
Mom just wrote a check.
Yeah. I was like, what?
He's like, we're going to talk about us. We destroyed that bell tower, write a check for that. She didn't even get in trouble. She just like wrote a check. I was like, okay. That was it.
Yeah. They canceled her credit card. So I was like, huh? Okay. I was like, that's the punishment? Jesus. I wish that was my punishment.
So now I'm not going to give you the $1 million you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. But you want to break down episode 1 and episode 2?
Yeah, let's do that first.
All right. So we'll talk about episode 1. How do you feel about the beginning part of it?
Well,
the flashback.
That was really sad. Well, I think it was perfectly placed because understanding why she fell in love with Hawkeye and why she's this fangirl. But man, seeing her dad, the fact that she seemed to have that connection with her dad, and to lose him right there, psychologically for a 12-year-old girl, can really mess you up. And then the one person that she sees is Hawkeye. I understand exactly why she held on to him and did everything in her life, to learn how to take care of herself and also to be like Hawkeye.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed that part of it. The whole like origin story of her wanting to be who, she is ultimately going to become. The one thing was me and my girlfriend were laughing at the child actor. Because she was a little funny. She's running around like, Daddy, Mommy. I was like, I can't laugh. And she's like just running, and it was just like, it's not anything on the child, I mean, she was doing the best she could as a kid actor, but it was a little funny. I feel like the director was like, really? Like no one says it like that. And the whole time, like, I was thinking of, I don't know if you know Trisha Paytas is. She's like a troll on YouTube. And she has a thing where she goes, Daddy, and that's the whole time. I'm like hearing that, and she's running, Mommy, Daddy. And I was like, what the fuck? So that was a little funny. It kind of took me out of it a little bit because it was just so exaggerated.
Over the top. Well, my wife said, where the hell is her mom? What mom will just be sitting there,
right?
Like, what? For your first instinct is to go get your baby. Like, what was she doing?
Yeah.
So I tried to explain it away. Like, well, maybe she went to go see where her husband was and then, find out what's going on. But then I later thought about, I was like, maybe she's not that nice, not that good of a person, and she set him up. Like, she knew it was kind of she took advantage of the situation because they were arguing right before the whole thing happened.
Yeah,
and she's like, we're going to sell this place. We want to do all this stuff, and maybe she took advantage of the situation and got rid of him. That's what she was doing.
Possibly.
And then that's because we're going to revisit that later down the line.
That was another thing. Yeah. The first thing I thought too was like, she was literally like a few steps away from her. They were in the kitchen together like 10 seconds ago, not even 10 seconds. It's like, I was like, I'm like, why? How did she leave so quick? Where did she go? So, but I didn't think about that. That could be a thing. Yeah, they were arguing and not being good. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm kind of curious. And then also, she's a big actress. I can't remember her name, but she was in The Conjuring and stuff like that. So it's not like a little actress that they got like off the street. Like, no, she's pretty well known, and a big actress. So I mean, if they don't give her like a pretty big role, I thought that'd be kind of.
She has to have a huge. Yeah, that's what I think. She has to have a huge thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I'm sure she's not cheap. I'm sure if it was gonna be something small, you can get somebody for a lot cheaper. Who can just do a quick thing. But if you need somebody to actually act and be good at it, she's pretty good at it.
But if you need that for the character, that means the character has to mean a lot to the story. And also, and that's what one thing you always get in the Marvel. We have characters are not just good or bad; they're people. They're multifaceted type of things. Like it's like not just one thing; it's multiple things at the same time. So it's like a Rumbix, whatever, like Rumbus, like one of those things like you have 8 different sides. That's what made Loki so enjoyable because you have those characters that aren't just one thing.
Yeah.
And I think like, she's a mom. She's gonna be great. And I told you, I think she's gonna be part of this whole conspiracy in the end. She's gonna be like the queen pin to the whole situation. Like, and that's what made me think about the dad. I was like, oh man, maybe she just got rid of him.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. I didn't really think about that until you said that, but it kind of makes sense because you find out her fiance is kind of a very cliche kind of. It's not known that he's the bad guy, but it's definitely leading up to he's gonna be the bad guy. You know, he's got the mustache, he's got the accent. You know,
it's the mustache.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, you're just waiting for him to twirl his mustache at one point. Like, yes, yeah.
It's all going according to plan.
Yes, yeah. So he's got that very old school looking bad guy look, you know. So that was kind of like funny. But one thing I did really, really like was the opening credits or the opening intro, whatever, the animation that pretty much explained her entire teenage life going into a young adult, you know, like of training and working hard and becoming the person she became. I'm like, that's other shows and movies need to learn to do something like that. Give us the explanation in a 15-30 second like intro, and then we're caught up.
But do you see that they do that at the end of every episode? They show you a preview for the next episode and the animation that they have after the credits. I love that. I was like, oh, so in episode 1 they showed kind of preview of what's going to be in episode 2. The end of episode 2, you saw kind of what's going to happen a preview of episode 3. That's genius. Like, they're doing such a great job of this right now. I don't like the episodes as much as you do right now, because I feel like, as I told you, I thought they're too long. I feel like it's not holding my attention as much. You know? Yeah. Just,
I mean, I didn't like get bored, but it was also, I agreed. They should have been a little shorter. I mean, if Loki was able to get away with 35 minutes.
Exactly. I told my wife, I feel like Loki should have been 45 minutes and this should be 30. That's all I asked for. More Loki. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, because even like WandaVision, I think WandaVision and Loki were all about 35-ish minutes. I think there was a few that were a little longer, a little shorter, but around there. And I'm like, that should be your standard, right? You know, like, hey, you know, we got Loki, which is the best of the best shows that we can do as of now. And that hit 35. There should be no reason why we should go over 35. You know, maybe for the last episode or maybe just for the first episode because you need to do certain things. But besides that, like everything in the middle should be 35.
With Hawkeye, it's all about branding.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. We saw that in the trailer last week.
What did you think about the Broadway show?
Oh my God, that was so cringy, and it was just. And I know it's obviously on purpose to be cringy like that to make you be like, ugh, because like you want to feel how he feels, like. Because as a fan, you like lived through that, you know, through seeing the characters do what they did. So you get like the emotion behind it all rather than somebody just telling a story of like, they saved the world. Yay. You know, so it's like, it was really, really funny, cringy, and kind of like, ooh, you know, it's just icky.
It was so funny because he was like, yeah, Ant-Man wasn't even there. I don't know why he said that at all. Yeah. He's in the song because it rhymed. That's what it was, you know.
But then there was also like him seeing the actor who played Black Widow, you know, kind of triggered some like PTSD kind of stuff. So I think that's definitely going to be a thing going forward.
That's exactly what I said. I said that's PTSD. I was like, Hawkeye's going through PTSD. He's trying to be there for his family, but he's also dealing with all the stuff that happened in his past, losing his best friend. And it's what I thought was wonderful is that his wife totally understood it. You know how you know some women like, yo, what's wrong with you? Why can't you be here being now? She totally understood him. Like she's like awesome. I was like, man, you get wife of the year right there.
But it's also like I think one thing when my girlfriend's like, oh, see, they don't keep secrets from each other because that's a big thing you see in movies and TV shows. You know, like if you ever watch Supernatural.
I watched every episode of Supernatural. Every single episode ever of Supernatural.
Yeah, okay. I haven't watched the last season. I need to watch the last season. I don't know how it ends. Not yet. Man. I just haven't had a chance. But I watched all the rest of 15, 14 seasons.
I literally cried. It's terrible.
Did you? I'm gonna watch. But the big thing in there is the two brothers who say they love each other. They consistently, all the time, every moment they can lie to each other, and it causes problems, which is part of why the show is good, is because of all the problems. But it's also, that's a big thing in most TV relationships and stuff like, is keeping secrets and stuff like that. And it shows like here, like he doesn't keep anything away from her, like he even said like, what movie you're gonna do, and she knew what it was. It's like, that's how intimate they are, is she knows his job as almost as well as he does. She might not be able to do it, but she knows it, so that's it's like
she's his ground, like his ground wire, like she's the one that keeps him okay.
Yeah.
He can totally be open with her. That's awesome.
But like he is able to keep secrets because no one knew his life out of the Avengers Tower in the previous movie in like Age of Ultron. So it's like, it's not that he can't keep secrets. He just, like, him and her are completely honest with each other. And that moment really proved the point, it's like she understood that he's still upset about losing Natasha, and I mean, like if the person you're hanging out with all day is Scarlett Johansson, every single woman is gonna be like, I can put a tracker on you, like, so, but I mean, that's just how much they trust each other. Like he knew, like,
those cold nights in Sokovia, not once,
awesome. So I think I just that episode being, or that part being really quick. Yeah, I thought that was really like it told a lot between their relationship, that she knew everything. So that I liked. I love their relationship though.
Did you catch that whole thing when she was like, "You're gonna take us to a secret building or secret lair in the Avengers Tower?" And he real quick said, "Oh no, Tony sold that about 5-6 years ago."
Yeah,
because everyone thinks of course the Fantastic Four, that's gonna be their tower, and before that, Kang can have it. So I mean, there's so much right there. It just was like a little flyby, but just like all type of information within that little tidbit. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because in Loki, I think in when the world where everything like goes after they're zapped, there was like the Stark Tower, but it said Kang on it. Yeah. So like that was kind of interesting. Like I hope it is the Baxter Building, for the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Dude, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, that would make sense
kind of tie it back.
Because Kang and the Fantastic Four, all that stuff is all tied in. So I feel like they do such a good job, and such Easter egg that they drop that won't even come out for like 3-4 years. And they're like, "Oh, you remember when we said this?" Boom, we were right there. Yeah. Or like just like when Spider-Man flew through the old Avengers Tower, and you saw that it was no longer said Stark Industries anymore, but you couldn't see what it said. Those type of Easter eggs are really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. For sure. I'm trying to think of other Easter eggs they did in the Hawkeye, like specifically episode 1. I mean, they didn't really.
I mean, just little stuff like so she comes home, she says, "Hey, Mom, what's with all the swords all around the house?"
Yeah.
Because her mom is dating this guy. The guy's probably most likely going to be sword master. That's who he is. Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool little thing that they dropped in. And then even I know in episode 2 when she was fencing him, and I was like, "Oh man, you're so good. Oh, you got me. Oh, you got me again." And then like she finally tried to stab him in his face, and he just disarmed her so fast, and that the thing was just sitting there spinning. That was amazing. It's how good he is. He did it without even thinking about it.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I think he's gonna be an interesting character. I hope he's just not a boring one. That just twirls his mustache kind of thing. Like I said, but I think he's gonna be more of a guy that fights with words and money and stuff like that instead of actually physically fighting.
I really think he's gonna have a showdown with Barton.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because he has the sword right now, the Ronin sword.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, shit, I forgot about that.
So because he has the Ronin sword, I really think it's gonna be a showdown. and Barton's gonna like show what he is. He goes back into that thing, but he has PTSD, so I think he's gonna have problems as he's doing it. He's gonna have flashbacks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's gonna be so cool.
Here's the. So I really appreciate the accuracy to a lot of the comic book stuff. So that's the guy from the show, and then that's him. Same thing with the mustache, So I don't know too much about Swordmaster though. So
see, and that's why I think it has to all revolve around Kingpin. I know we only episode 1, but it has to all revolve around Kingpin because Swordmaster is like another underling from Kingpin, just like Echo. That's why Daredevil's going to be drawn into this whole universe.
That's a pretty good picture.
That's a pretty good casting.
I can see this guy being like that.
That's
all
good
right.
casting.
I mean, that's not too bad. I don't know too much about him. I gotta look him up a little bit more and see what's going on. But that's pretty interesting. But Kingpin is definitely gonna be. I think this whole show is gonna break down into different parts. I think the first 2 episodes are obviously Kate Bishop. I think the next 2 episodes are gonna be about something else. Then after that, 2 more episodes are gonna be something else, and I think the last 2 episodes are gonna be.
Can he make it home?
No, I think it's gonna be White Widow. I think she's gonna play a big role.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it's gonna be towards the end. There's no way. Maybe unless they have something bigger, like if they bring Vincent the whatever the guy from Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm. Go upstairs. I'm going to tell Mom. Go. Thank you, man. Upstairs. Take it upstairs. Go. Now.
Please.
Go upstairs.
Fine.
Thank you.
She wants you to play with her or like go get something?
Go get something. She was like, "Can you go get something right now?" No. Oh,
like from the store?
No, like from the car.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 adults upstairs. She came down to me. So,
only you can get it.
Yes. All right. Thanks, babe.
That's funny. But like I honestly, a lot of these characters I don't know too much about. Like Echo, I don't know too much about. Swordmaster,
Echo, you saw in the Marvel thing how they're going to do a whole series on Echo.
Yeah, she's getting her own show, her own like spinoff, I guess, at this point. So, the only thing I did know, like you said, is the Echo is linked to Kingpin.
Yep.
And
we'll Echo's actually big into Daredevil.
Yeah,
he's deaf,
which
he's blind, and it's big into that. Yeah, and she's not always bad either. And that's why it's gonna be interesting to see her at her show. Yeah.
I don't know too much about her, so I'm gonna. That's definitely somebody I want to look up a little bit more and like read into. But just the comic book, they kept it very close to the 2011 Hawkeye series. I mean, the logo straight from it. Making him deaf, or I wouldn't say deaf, hard of hearing. Where he has to wear the hearing aid and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. Like you said, it really humanizes him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can't just fall through a building and get up like Captain America.
I'm fine. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, he's like, oh, that's another thing I did like. I liked Hawkeye taking care of Kate Bishop, and he's showing her the right way to stitch her face and stuff like that. Like the things that he's had to learn that only he and Natasha really had to deal with. Everyone else is a superhero or a billionaire genius, or philanthropist, everything God type guy. He's just a regular guy with regular money and all that stuff. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
One thing I did see, but I haven't really thought about was how uncomfortable he was accepting anything from everybody. He was totally uncomfortable. Like they're like, "Don't worry, your bill is on us," and he's just like. I thought that was really interesting that he felt that way.
Yeah, which is very interesting because he's being given all these freebies, and then you go to Captain Captain Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon.
And I mean,
nothing.
he can't even get a loan. He can't even
Exactly.
get a loan. He's like,
Oh,
I'm not even
that's
asking
fine.
for free money.
It's like Tony can't just give it to you. You know, can't just like sell something. Tony can't just he don't have like a 401k for you guys. Yeah, yes. Tony starts paying us. Thank you. Like, what do you think has been happening?
Yeah. So I mean, I definitely like that's really interesting. You know, he's watching Broadway shows and you know, like getting a nice hotel and private cars to the airport, and you know, Falcon is like barely getting by.
His own like terrible boat. Can't buy the boat. You know, about to go into foreclosure of everything.
Yeah. So it's I thought that was like kind of interesting, where like, hey, they're all part of the same group, but even them, you know, then they get treated a little differently. So I think they're gonna play into that a lot. Yeah, they're gonna play into a lot. I think, going forward, once they start kind of mingling together again, because right now they're kind of starting over, so everyone's doing their own thing, and then slowly they're gonna start to mingle. Like Spider-Man's gonna be the big one. But yeah, I don't know. So, but how would you rate episode 1 with how it ended, how it went?
Episode 1 is a supporting episode. I think, as I say, you say the first 2 episodes of Wanda, I rated a C, average. It's a supporting episode, but it's important to have. At least it kind of tells you who Kate Bishop is, why she did what she did, why she is Hawkeye's #1 fangirl. Thought that was pretty good. You know, it was necessary information for you to understand the rest of the series.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, understand why she chose Hawkeye with her dad dying, and what she sees him as a dad that she never met. You know? Yeah,
exactly. It was one of those episodes where like it's not entertaining, but it's gonna have important information. So it's kind of like, and I wouldn't say it wasn't like entertaining, but it did have its good parts that were kind of funny, you know, and good. But overall, it was just kind of like you said, an average kind of episode. It didn't really like wow me or anything. It was just a setup episode for sure. We got a comment. I don't know if I missed it. There we go. Hey guys, I don't know too much about Hawkeye, but it seems like he's got survivor's guilt for sure. And it'll only get worse as the season progresses. I think so. I think it's definitely gonna.
That's gonna be huge, and I think that's why you said White Widow's gonna be there. I think that's going to be huge into that too.
Yeah.
You know, he might feel like he might be guilty. I could see that guy, the way Jeremy Renner is playing it, I could feel that him being so guilty, saying that, yeah, I did cause this. Even saying, this is my fault because I couldn't save her. Like, he probably feels that way. Yeah, I couldn't stop her for doing it. So I could see him totally falling into that.
Yeah. And I think that's what it's going to come down to is, like, she's going to want to kill him, and he's going to, like, fight, and then find out who it is. And he's like,
if you want to kill me, this is what happened. This is not what you think, but if you want to kill me, kill me.
Yeah, you know, like because of the survivor's guilt kind of thing. You know, it's like his sister blames him, he blames himself. So he's like, who else better to kill me than the person I couldn't save? You know, family member. So, and I think that's when she's gonna realize, and it's gonna get all mushy and stuff like that. Which I already know it's coming at one point. I'm not against it. I really kind of looking forward to it actually, but yeah, same thing. Like Hawkeye was never too big of a character. He had that one run that this book is loosely kind of based off of.
It was an episode like 107 or something like that. Like it was 10 episodes, 10 comic books. That was it. It was like 10.
Yeah, something like that.
It was it. It was something real small, but I thought it was funny. Once again, bad branding. And then when they were walking outside, and they saw those people and those characters, and he was like, "Hey, look, she's dressed like you." He was like, "No, that's Katniss Everdeen."
That was funny.
That was awesome.
That was funny. That was funny because like it seems like parts where he wants to be recognized and parts that he doesn't like to be recognized. So it's kind of like fighting with that like ego too, you know, because like the girl saw him in the theater. You know, and she kind of smiled and waved, and he's kind of like nod his head, you know, and then, you know, the free meal. But then like there, he's like, oh, it's superhero. And it felt like he was going to be like, oh, and then she's like skipped him. And it was kind of like, he felt like a little hurt about it, but
it was like,
but I thought that was
right in the gut a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
So.
everything we talk about, or specifically everything like Marvin talks about, he feels the same way. He's like, I'm fighting Thanos with a bow and arrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see it. I can see the problems here too.
Yeah. But that was always his thing. He's like, I'm just a guy that can shoot really good. But he's always been the Jiminy Cricket of the group. I felt like, always.
Conscience. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has an outside life.
Yeah. He's or a life in general. Everyone else that's all they live for.
Anything else about episode 1? Let's get to episode 2.
Not much. I mean, it was mostly Kate Bishop, but But episode 2, I'm trying to remember how it started. How did episode 2 start?
When he's saving her in the alley, and he's like pushing her. Come on! When she's wearing his costume, that's what we didn't talk about episode 1. Why the hell did she put on the costume, the Ronin costume? She's sitting there. First of all, how did she get down to this auction? Everyone just kind of just say, okay. No one talks about the fact that she's sitting there wearing a black tuxedo after her mom has to put a dress on. And then she was able to just walk downstairs because she happened to wearing the same stuff as the waiter. And no one questioned it. And no one said anything. And then she was just able to put on the Ronin costume.
Yeah.
And what kind of black market stuff has no people with guns all around?
I don't know. Better security.
What is this? I have more security at my restaurant than they did at this black market auction. It made no sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Here, let me change it back because there was one thing in episode 1. So one, how did a suit that fit like, I don't know, 35-year-old man fit a 23, 21, however old she was, like girl,
little girl,
and it fit her good. It wasn't like too baggy, but it was just like, what? So that was kind of like funny, I'm like, maybe it was one of those Tony things that especially changes. yeah, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so there was that. Sword Master took that blade. Sword, which is that's gonna play into something. Yeah, crazy. And then the big one we forgot to talk about was the dog, which was kind of interesting. Lucky, where he was protecting something or somebody, and also that watch.
The watch, exactly.
The watch, and it had the mark that it was part of the Avengers compound when it all got destroyed, because that's where they found the suit as well. So I was like,
what's special about what's so special about that watch? That's something else I was wondering, like,
yeah. The only thing I can think of is Iron Man. It's got to be something with Iron Man. There's something in there that, like, there's some Iron Man tech, because I feel like Iron Man made so many bad guys, either intentionally or unintentionally. He's made so many bad guys that, everyone wants his stuff to be the next big bad guy. So that's the only person I can think of. But
I think of Iron Man 2, but I was thinking also of, think about the glasses from Spider-Man. Has something like that can control some technology that has these huge things, huge ramifications. Maybe it controls like some of his compounds. You have that. You have the key to this compound and go in. You have all the stuff that Stark ever used.
Yeah,
and it shows like how Stark will continue to have his fingerprint all over this universe, even if he's gone or forgotten. It doesn't matter. He still will be there. Thought that was really interesting. If everyone was fighting for that, I thought that was really weird that the what's his name, Armand, whatever his name, was able to what bought the thing for $500,000 and then like lost sight of it when stuff was going down. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then Swordmaster goes to get the blade and no one's paying attention.
Just grabs it. Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of security is it that someone can just go grab it? Just thank you. And then Kate Bishop's like,
this is on the floor.
On the floor. Like, let's put this on. Okay, thanks. I'm ready to go.
That's the comic book like suspense that you need to have. like suspense of belief kind of thing. Yeah, it was kind of like, I think they were just trying like, oh, it's a lot happening. You won't think about it, but it's like,
it's the only thing that's been bought.
Yeah.
It just started.
Yeah, it was like, well, no, that was the dinosaur head.
The dinosaur head, yeah.
So for like a couple million or whatever, and then it was the blade, which I didn't know it retracted. They never talked
said
about
that.
They never showed that. So that was kind of interesting. So I'm like, so it's got to be pretty techie, at that time, because he
didn't do that on his own.
Yeah. I mean, he's smart, but I don't know if he's that level kind of Tony Stark smart,
But even his arrows are from Tony Stark. It says Stark Industries on the arrows. So I mean, like, this has to be from Stark somehow.
I mean, he still got Shield. I mean, he got a lot of goodies from Shield. So I don't know if Shield was still around. And well, I don't even know how that works out because
I'm gonna let him be Ronin.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, Maria Hill and Nick Fury were both dusted. So I don't know. Maybe he just went into Stark's house and like made a fancy suit and fancy sword and went on a killing streak.
And you know how gullible Spider-Man is. He's like, hey, let me just give you the suit. Here you go. I'll make it for you too. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, if it was that intuitive where Spider-Man can make a suit, and he's just a kid in high school, then I'm pretty sure then, now that I think about it, that a international spy for the past like 2 decades can figure it out.
It's so funny. It's just so funny how many people he killed. And then what about what are those things? Those whether the jump
the tracksuit mafia.
Tracksuit mafia. Oh my! I was like, what, really?
I guess. Yeah, like, I guess if that was in the comic, I don't remember. It was very silly.
I remember something about it, but I didn't think that was like going to be a big part. Like, these guys are. First of all, they're stupid. Like they throwing that lit bottle, and he just caught it, threw it back at him.
Like, let's play a game. Name your favorite dinosaur. Favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready?
You want to go do karate in the garage?